just want to make another little follow-up to the last comment, is that not only do preamps add a shit ton of mojo to what you're recording, if you're going to compare a preamp versus a compressor versus an equalizer and say which one adds the most mojo, it's probably going to be the preamp, and this is why, okay? All an equalizer is doing, it is a volume control. It is a volume control for specific frequencies, okay? Changing the volume of those specific frequencies happens after you've preamplified the signal. You're not changing the preamplified signal. You're just changing the volume of it, okay, in various spots, okay? But fundamentally, whatever you recorded with the preamp is what you recorded with the preamp. Same kind of deal with the compressor. Now, yes, some compressors add their own kind of character because they have tubes in them, or they have like certain transformers, like, you know, the LA2A has tubes. Okay, there's tube preamps. So, I mean, obviously, that just goes back to the first point of the preamp adding character, okay? So it's like saying, like, yo, compressors have more character than preamps because they have tubes and transformers. That's all that preamps are, is tubes and transformers, okay? And not only that, you know, most compressors, like let's take a VCA compressor, for instance, which is just, you know, all ICs and electronics like that, like a cleaner VCA compressor, you know, all that's doing is just adjusting the transient, how much punch is coming out of that transient versus how much are we smoothing off of the transient, and how much are we letting the tail go through. Basically just the envelope of the waveform. But that waveform is still whatever you got with the preamp, all right? So it's like, you know, the preamp on the track is like Play-Doh. You can bend Play-Doh around and change its form. It's still just Play-Doh, okay? So that's why preamps are so fundamental to the character of what's going on. You want to talk microphones? The preamp is what every microphone goes into. Yeah, like sure, an SM57 versus a ribbon mic is going to sound different, but if they're both going through a certain preamp, they're both going to kind of share a similar character from that preamp. So that's part